All right. We'll wait for our viewers here. All right, we got 4 watching now. Thank you very much for joining me here today at Tyrant Slayer Studios. We've got 11. I'm sure there are a lot of you. We've got 17. All right, here's the numbers. Moving up. There are a lot of you asking a lot of questions. There are a lot of you with a lot of imagined scenarios here in the comment section. There are a lot of you who simply just don't know what's going on, why it's happening, and essentially lumping me in with, we'll say, some of the rotten eggs in this community. And today's video is it's not going to be too long. I think we might run about a half hour here tops, and we're just going to bring clarity to this situation, clarity to those with questions, and knowledge and insight to those suffering in their ignorance within my comment section. But basically, I've got some updates here for you. Jim Busby, thank you so much. Mr. Sixbanger, always, always, always a pleasure to see you, sir. Thanks for being here. Thanks for participating in the live chat. Please hit the like button. I do have a number of updates for you guys, but I can only say so much, as there is a pretty in-depth investigation into what's been happening to me and what's been happening here in the state of Connecticut. So first things first. I have filed a sworn statement against each and every single sworn peace officer with arresting powers. These marshals here at GA 19 Rockville Family Courthouse do have arresting powers. They are sworn peace officers, and there is an active investigation into their criminal conduct, their criminal activity, and their gross, egregious misconduct. Both elements are being looked at very carefully. I've been given the contact information and the go-ahead to begin conversing with the Deputy Chief of Marshals and the Chief of Marshals here in Connecticut. The man's name is O'Donovan Murphy. I have actually attempted to reach out to this individual before last year in 2020. Regarding the incident that occurred at the Hartford courthouse. And back then, the man wouldn't even return my call. But to give you an idea of how well this investigation is moving into my favor, the man is very eager to speak with me now. And I will be making that phone call to him later this afternoon to see what sort of fruit that will yield. But make no mistake about it, there is absolutely a criminal investigation into each and every single one of these marshals for being complicit in assault, battery, unlawful physical restraint, deprivation of rights under the color of law. There's a whole list of things going into this, and I've been assured by Troop C, Connecticut State Police, that it is being thoroughly investigated. Now, as far as my arrest goes, it doesn't seem as though there's no indication from state police that I'm going to be in any sort of trouble. In fact, I have a very strong inclination that on December the 13th, when I go to speak personally, physically, with the state's attorney, that these charges are going to be, this is going to be thrown out. All my charges are going to be dropped because I didn't break any laws. I never left public property. I never went beyond the secure entry point of the courthouse. I remained on public property the entire time. But I digress. I mean, I can only say so much in regard to that. But basically, rest assured, all of this stuff's going to be dropped against me, and the tables have already started to turn in my favor in regard to pursuing these marshals and the other involved court personnel in this situation. So it's just a matter of time. We'll see what sort of settlements or resolutions or lawsuits come out of it. We are absolutely pursuing every single legal avenue, civil and criminal, to hold these folks accountable. That's what we're here to do, to create accountability and bring justice to people who have suffered terrible injustices. Now, there are a lot of people speculating about me. People don't understand who I am, what I'm about, and that's all right. That's all right. I've never really provided a whole lot of insight into who I am or my family court case per se. So I'm going to just give a quick rundown of what's happened and how it's all led to this point. Okay. I have 5 children. There are a number of people here in this comment section of mine who think all my children have been taken away from me and I'm some sort of psychotic Yahoo who's going out to antagonize my public officials. Okay, well, the state police don't see it that way. They have a video, the copy of the video on thumb drive. Everybody who's got a clue is in my corner. But the skeptics, they seem to need to be addressed, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I have 5 children. I own a house. I'm here with my wife and our 4 children. My daughter's brothers, they are her brothers. The only child I have a custody issue with right now is my daughter. And now this custody issue came into fruition not because of any wrongdoing of mine, but because on Mother's Day weekend in 2020, my daughter, 11 at the time, it was like Saturday night, and I told her, hey, we got to get your things ready tonight because you're going to be leaving tomorrow, and we got to get you back to Mom's house. And it was at that point that my daughter began uncontrollably, violently shaking physically, trembling, and telling me something terrible has happened over there at Mom's house. She can't understand why she has to leave my house. She doesn't feel safe at Mom's house. She told me that her mother told her never to tell me what happened over there, but something terrible had happened. She was terrified. Didn't even want to call her mom. Doesn't even want to talk to her mom. Terrified to go back to her house and begging me, please don't make me go there. Please. So I call my ex to try to find out what's going on, and I'm immediately stonewalled and bombarded with a bunch of bombastic gibberish and outlandish accusations, to which I reply, okay, I guess I'll see you in court. And that is how, in May of 2020, this entire nightmare with the family court house has started. Now, I was very confident, overly confident, in my position because being an astute First Amendment activist, government accountability activist who's eager and willing to learn even more ins and outs of our systems, I figured I could conduct a investigation rather effectively myself and began doing just that. There are a number of egregious elements to the family court case process itself, but I'm not going to go into those. That's a whole nother show and a whole separate issue of how this courthouse has violated the Connecticut Practice Book, judicial procedural requirements, and our laws. It's a whole nother show. I'm going to try to keep focused on giving you the insight into the case and how it's gotten to where it is today. So I begin my investigations into what's going on in that house, and I acquire dozens of police reports, all of which indicate, my daughter is being exposed and subjected to people on parole, convicts, crack cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, felony possession of firearms, domestic violence, child abuse, trauma, neglect, right? Mom is soliciting sex in that house for drugs. I'm getting text messages saying that my daughter is going to be sleeping with all the guys in the neighborhood and there's nothing I could do about it. These people are texting me with malicious intent, telling me how they're going to use the court to make sure I can never see my daughter again, and that I'm going to be a deadbeat dad and so backed up on child support, they're going to try to throw me in jail. This is all malicious. Now, in my investigations, I uncovered all sorts of crazy things that I could use. One of the important things was how she lied to the Vernon Police Department about who her current boyfriend is and what he's involved in. She did that to try and hide from the court what's actually happening in her house. And also to protect her boyfriend from being arrested on a warrant he had out of South Windsor at that time. So she lied about what her boyfriend's name is in a police report after he stole her car. You know, the car that she uses to go to the store and buy my daughter food with and stuff like that. Yeah, he stole that car. And instead of calling the police and actually filing a legit police report, she called the police and gave the police a fake name and tried to protect him from being arrested while my daughter sat there and suffered, right? So it's very clear in all of these proceedings and in all of this gathered evidence that I have presented to the court that the mother of my daughter is absolutely neglecting my daughter's needs. She's putting the needs of convicted parolee drug addicts who are trying to commit suicide in their living room, dealing drugs, manufacturing drugs, hitting her in the face over there. She's putting their needs before that of my daughter. And I very easily illustrated that before the court, somehow to no avail. You know, the judges involved, one of which has recused herself, know how badly they screwed up, and they just think they're going to get away with it. They've been successfully obstructing the records, as you could see. The marshals seem to be involved in a conspiracy with the judges to protect someone's career over there. The judge's career, evidently. So right now, we're not going after these judges yet, but we are going to go after their immunity and prosecute them and sue them. But right now, the focus is on my daughter and the family court proceedings that took place that brought us to where we're at today. So after all of this stuff in family court pans out, after the court continues to violate the Connecticut practice book, after the court makes it very clear to me that my rights are being violated, that the truth doesn't matter. In fact, the plaintiff's attorney actually stood up at one point in one of these proceedings and indicated to the judge that the plaintiff, my ex, was 100% willing to be open and honest today here in court. And I told her, Your Honor, she doesn't have to do that. I mean, like, he encouraged my ex to lie right there in front of the judge. She's encouraging her to lie. You know, he knew I was preparing to cross-examine my ex, and he encouraged her not to be truthful. And the judge, like, nods along, like, yeah, good idea. Yeah, that's a good one. That'll help me keep my job. Right? You know, so here's the long and short of it after all of that. The plaintiff has committed dozens of counts of perjury. Now, I've tried to file perjury charges and nip this case in the bud that way. And I've been shut down by the state police, and I've been shut down by the local police. Well, as of today, that has all just changed. That has all just changed. In fact, I think it's as a result of what happened on November 29th that all of these things are finally changing. You see? Now, all of a sudden, the police want to help me. Instead of hanging up on me and telling me that they don't enforce criminal violations of felony statutes in the state of Connecticut and that those are civil matters, now, all of a sudden, they want to help me. Now they want to give me information, and they want to investigate, and they want to help. So obviously something is, turning in the people's favor here for a change, and it's long overdue. But I'm happy to let you guys know that it is all going to be over very soon. Mom is going to be going to prison on felony charges for years. Years. I've already talked with her lawyer, who assures me that when she's arrested, my daughter will be brought to my house to be reunited with her 4 brothers, her father, and my wife. And that's the way it should be. We have a great big house. I own 2 businesses. I own a construction company, and I own my YouTube brand account, okay? To clear up all that stuff in the comment section that's been imagined by the Rabid Cat's wonderful audience here, right? Oh, and to give you guys an update on Schrodinger's cat, unless, of course, he is an educator and authorized by the state to be an educator, unless he is a teacher or an educator of some time, there is no way in any court proceeding he can win his counterclaim of my copyright claim. No way. No way. It's a cut and dry case. I posted a little link, some information on my community page here at Tyrant Slayer Studios for everyone to see how copyright laws work here in the state of Connecticut. And I just want it to be clear to everyone watching and interested in that element of all of this that if I so choose to pursue Schrodinger's cat on this copyright claim, he will lose. Absolutely, 100%. It's the law. I don't suspect Schrodinger's cat has a master's degree. I don't suspect Schrodinger's cat is a teacher. I don't think he's certified to teach. I don't think he's licensed to teach. I don't think he is an educator. He has nothing to prove that he is in some sort of state acknowledged capacity an educator or a teacher, and therefore he has no rights to use my content, especially it's in its entirety. You know, like if Schrodinger's cat would have just used a little bit of his brain, he could have avoided all of this nonsense. But, you know, he would rather try to steal someone's property and capitalize off of it while slandering, libeling, and defaming them, you know. And also sending over all of his rabid animals to disrupt, harass, annoy, and create alarm, you know. Hey, Schrodinger's cat sent me. You're a piece of shit. Okay, well, that's good. I took a screenshot of that. You wouldn't believe the screenshots I got. So, I mean, it's not looking good for Schrodinger's cat. But lucky for him, I have bigger and more pressing issues to deal with. You know, so it's not high on my priority list. I just want the evidence and the knowledge out there to be known that if I so choose to continue pursuing this, I win. Period. End of discussion. And I guess with that, I can't really disclose too much more. I do got to say, Troop C has totally turned its momentum around, and it seems to be going into my favor now. I absolutely expect all my charges to be dropped. I will be getting my cell phone back very soon. And based, you know, in lieu of what actions and in lieu of the conduct of Troop C in their investigation in my favor, we'll determine whether or not we're going to follow up on the arresting officer from the 29th, the booking officer, and even the shift supervisor, Benoit, and press. You know, based on how this all goes, we may or may not pursue criminal and civil charges against the troop and these officers. If these guys can make good on their errors, and these guys can show the public and show me that they recognize and acknowledge what their errors are, and that they you know are remorseful about that, I'm not going to pursue them. I'm not going to put the taxpayers on the hook and create all sorts of noise and lawsuits and liabilities for the taxpayers, because that's a little bit counterproductive in the grand scheme of things. And I think most of you can agree. So if the police can get it right here, then we're going to leave them alone. But we are absolutely going after another. Well, actually, there is a state trooper from another troop that we are pursuing, irrelevant to Troop C. There are so many things going on, to be honest. But and now I'm losing focus because there are so many fires on so many fronts. But to be clear, I have not decided whether or not I'm going to be pursuing Troop C and its troopers for their conduct yet. It depends. It really depends on how well they can rectify their errors before they become permanent mistakes. You know, whether or not they allow their errors to become mistakes. You know, and if they do, well, then yes, of course, we will pursue them legally with legal recourse to the umpteenth degree. But as of right now, it seems as though the state police, Troop C, is trying to salvage a relationship here with me and maybe with the people as well. Trooper Davis, who was the arresting officer on November 29th, is the investigating officer into my sworn statement against the marshals. While I find that to be a little bit unsettling, I can understand it. it seems to me that Trooper Davis wants to make good on his errors, and he wants to be leading the investigation that actually makes things right. And when I talk to him, it seems as though I can hear that in his heart as well. So we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and we're going to see where things go. My daughter, I had taken my daughter in May of 2020 and kept her here in my home successfully up until September of 2020, when the court illegally, against the law, in violation of our practice book, used what's called a civil capias to threaten me with duress and force me to leave the courthouse without my daughter that day. Since that time, my daughter has been in the custody at the whims of her drug-addicted, prostituting mom and her pedophile boyfriends. I mean, her boyfriend's own sister contacted me, and I've got all of this stuff documented and recorded, telling me how she pleaded with Priscilla not to get involved with her brother and how horrible of a person he is and how bad it would be for our daughter. And my ex just ignores everyone, ignores the guy's own sister, and then tries to pretend that everything's fine and she's such a great mother and Araya is perfectly safe. But it's the total opposite is true. So I haven't seen or talked to my daughter in months. That's child abuse. And this is in the court's sanction, the court's facilitating this stuff while obstructing all my records that could prove how wrong all of this is. For the last 8 months, whether I have a camera in my hand, as you've seen on November 29th, it doesn't matter if I have a camera in my hand. It also, as you will see, doesn't matter if I don't have a camera in my hand. It doesn't matter if I fill out the fee waiver form and a judge approves it. It doesn't matter if I do email correspondence, phone correspondence. Nothing I've done in almost a year's time has gotten me the public record for my own court case in my hands physically so that I can properly represent myself, articulate how the court's broken the law, articulate and prove irrefutably how the judge is violating the Connecticut practice book and breaking the law and endangering my daughter. All of that stuff is in these records. All of the counts of perjury are in these records. And the judge, the marshals, and the clerks are doing everything they can for the last almost year, this has been going on for, to obstruct and prevent me from gaining access to these records. Period. This is what seems to be a conspiracy. A real, genuine conspiracy being carried out by clerks, criminal judges, and their minions dressed as marshals. So it's a very, very big thing, and it's all finally starting to turn around into my favor. And as it does, and as investigations conclude, you can bet I will be putting all of the information out there to disseminate to the public for matters of public interest in education. We're all going to be aware of what's been going on, how they got away with it, and what we can do to prevent it from ever happening again. Ever. So there you have it, folks. That's my update. Now, I would love to take some questions. I'm going to scroll through these comments here, see what everybody's doing. If you'd like to come up on panel with me, you're more than welcome. I can share the panel link. If you'd like to have a verbal discussion with me, here is a link to the panel. I just dropped that down in the comment section for y'all. Six Banger, thanks again for being here. Eric Cohen, yeah, it is kidnapping. Absolutely, it's state sponsored kidnapping. This is like terrorism. This is child abuse. This is neglect. I've been persecuted and oppressed because I'm a heterosexual white male, and the family courthouse in Rockville, Connecticut, operates based upon social justice demands instead of reality. So, that's a big part of the problem, I think. Jim Busby, thank you for being here. Ex-Denator, good afternoon to you. Philip Dilberg, thanks for being here. Anthony Moffin? Shit. Sorry, Anthony. What's the crack? Crack? E-R-E? Michigan Constitution Crusader. Got him! You're damn right. Hey, Too Tall Rob Live, thank you so much, my man. Uh, El Sancho, holy shit, bro. Yeah, dude. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Now, for those of you who don't know El Sancho and do know Dr. Michael Savage, there is a very strong resemblance in their voice and in the manner of which they carry their inflections, the way they express and articulate themselves is really, really good. I love the way El Sancho talks and articulates, and it's been many, many moons since I've seen something from you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for following along. God bless you and yours. It's really nice to see you, man. Let's see. News Now, California. My man. Thank you so much for being here, man. The support means a lot to me. Hey, Rachel, I love you too, honey bunny. Jim Busby, ashamed Canadian. Hello, hello. Good to see you too, sir. Yeah, a lot of people do wish me the best, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people are wishing me a lot of harm too. You wouldn't believe the stuff I've been contending with in the comment section. I guess it comes with the territory. It's just I never expected such a large segment of this community to be so nescient and so certain in that nescience that they just believe whatever they imagine and put to the wayside the information I'm putting out there. It's incredible. Yeah, it is very sick. Jason Tikel. Just saying, I don't think I could allow the system to screw me over if I was in this situation. Hey, man, I'm not allowing it to happen either, but I can't go out there and start breaking the law. I can't go out there and just physically remove any obstacle between my daughter and I to get her to safety without breaking some laws. The last thing anybody in a situation like this wants to do is violate the law or incriminate themselves in any way, shape, or form. That is not going to be helpful to your child. That is not going to be helpful to your family court case. And it is certainly not going to be helpful to your reputation. So I've been fighting the fight like the only way I can, really. And that's part of the reason why I've been losing so bad. Because the system is stacked against us. The game is rigged. It's a rigged deck. The judge is the monopoly banker and just robbing the bank and playing with the money the whole time. Just screwing everybody over. Thank you, Ganelli. I appreciate that. I'm trying to keep up the fight best I can. Let's see. What are you always need help? I think the what should be why. Why do I always need help? I'm not asking for any help here. Did I ask for any help? Have I asked for any money? Did I say, please, if you're a lawyer out there, help me? Help me. I didn't say any of that. I said, hey, come join me for a panel today. We're going to give you guys some updates, ask some questions, and provide some clarity. Yeah. Keep up the good work. Chris Riddle. Family court and custody is one of the toughest in the best of places. This breaks my heart for you and your daughter. Hey, man. Thank you. It wasn't my intention to break your heart, but I am pleased to know that there are compassionate people out there who can see and have the inclination to understand what they're looking at and how terrible it is. So thank you. Extinator. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a win-win-win-win-win-win. It's going to be like a quadruple, triple, double whammy. It's going to be a hell of an accomplishment. And, maybe it'll help me kick off my campaign for sheriff out here in Connecticut. We have to bring the sheriffs back here to Connecticut. And that's one of the single best ways that we can prevent this sort of stuff from happening anymore. We become the sheriffs, and we arrest the judges, and we arrest the marshals, and we arrest our officials who are breaking our laws. I will absolutely be your constitutional sheriff here in the state of Connecticut and put my life out there to help you with yours, to help hold corrupt officials accountable. One at a time. You got it, brother. King Slamma 69. Didn't Schrodinger's cat just get served with legalized drugs the other day also? Just get served by legal... I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be getting copyright strikes from a number of people. I have seen some things in my comment section from other activists who have been disturbed by his behavior and witnessed my copyright strike say that they are going to copyright strike him as well. So I would imagine it's only a matter of time before his channel goes bye-bye, and it's only a matter of time before someone like me gets ahead of their more pressing issues and then follows up on the counterclaim he filed and actually sues him and makes sure that his channel and my content upon it are removed. Because he doesn't have any legal leg to stand on, according to the law. His Google law scholars that have been trolling my comment section, they think they know the law, but they don't. So, and evidently he doesn't either. You're goddamn right. Wyatt Earp ain't got shit on me, man. Wyatt Earp ain't got shit on me. Hey, thank you so much, Sergeant Mummy. Have you ever sat and forged a watermelon? We can get to satire questions later if you'd like. Underdog, thanks for being here. Metal Toph. Ashamed Canadian, much respect and support. Thank you so much for that respect and that support, buddy. Please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Hit the alert bell so you know when I go live next time or when I'm uploading new content for you guys to see and get your heads around and unite around. Thank you, Jim Busby. Superior number 1. Thank you. Well, yeah, even the word sheriff is offensive to me. Hey, that's kind of funny, but I know what you mean. Being offended is a choice. I got to remind you of that fact. Now, the word sheriff does carry stigma with a lot of people. It does for me, too. But when I'm the sheriff, you can bet that stigma will be eliminated and the people will actually have an honest person on their behalf for a change. Fathers don't have equal rights in family court. I went through hell and deep water here in Kansas to get my 3 daughters. Yeah, that's right. I can only imagine how terrible that nightmare was for you. And this has got to stop. This is totally, even the way the process in which I've been engaged in is carried out is totally against the Connecticut Practice Book and a violation of judicial procedural requirements. What this court has done, and even just the conflict of interest that exists between the plaintiff's lawyer and the judge itself, is irrefutable proof that something criminal is happening inside of the courthouse. And a conspiracy rests inside of the courthouse. And the clerks are all, foot soldiers for the judges trying to hide their dirty deeds. The marshals are foot soldiers for the clerks trying to hide the dirty deeds that they're hiding on behalf of the judges. And it seems like the state police are trying to distance themselves from that at this point, which is relieving. Very, very relieving. I'm not at all worried about these bogus, false criminal charges that have been applied to me. I absolutely believe they are going to be thrown out. I believe the state's attorney and I are going to have a wonderful conversation on June the 13th. And we're going to get before the judge, and everything will be thrown out right there. Boom. All my property will be given back to me, and I will be able to let Troop C off of the hook in that regard, based on how well they pull through for me in their legitimate investigation. I got a sexier voice. Yes, my wife thinks so too. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Hey, thank you, Jim. I think that's it. We've been running about 35 minutes. I said about a half hour. I really can't comment too much in detail on any of the investigations I got going on. But no, there are many fires. There are many fronts. I am spread very, very thin. But I'm still keeping it together, which means you can too. which means there's a way out. And I'm more than happy to show you guys what that way is and how I intend to utilize it. And I'll keep you up to date as further things come along. Things come further along, and we'll go from there. But I have to thank each and every one of you for your support and your loyalty here. Thank you for believing in me. Maybe you can give these trolls a little hell for me every once in a while in the comment section. Use the knowledge I've shared with you to help clear up any misconceptions. If you feel like, you might want to do that, please go ahead, hit them trolls for me, because I'm not paying any mind to them anymore. Sancho, get something going, man. I'd love to tune in on your channel. Maybe we could talk about some things. You're a great guy. Last thing I saw you do, I think you were helping out the homeless, man. Keep up that good work. And I'm looking forward to seeing some new things from you, my man. You got a powerful presence here in this community, and I think you underestimate yourself. You have a way with words, and you got a great voice, and you should absolutely capitalize upon that, sir. All right. Hey, New England Truth, thanks so much. That's all right, buddy. You can rewind it. We all love you. Jim, I think First Amendment people should run for more offices. Yes, you're damn right. That's exactly what I intend to do, and hopefully I can set the trend. Hopefully I can set some precedents here, and hopefully, with the power behind this family court thing and all of these other egregious elements that have stemmed from it, maybe this will become a nationwide sort of story. Maybe I can set a nationwide precedence. Maybe we can actually drum up the positive force for progress we need in this country right now to endure the problems that we're facing and overcome them one day at a time. You should, El Sancho. You should, man. I would be there. I'd be supporting you. I'd promote the hell out of it. I always enjoyed listening to you. There's always something very distinguished about you. I'm not sticking my nose up your butthole. Just being real here. You got something there. Don't let it go, man. Hold on to that shit and keep on climbing. You'll get to where you need to be. Trust me. And with that, I love each and every one of you. I'll give you further updates later this week. I have some video coming out for you guys. It might be up tonight, but don't put any pressure on me, please. It might be up tonight. If it's not, I'll have it up for you tomorrow. It's going to be involving this same courthouse and my other engagements with the staff there. Clerks that I've never seen, talked to, had any correspondence with, or met in my life are flicking me off over there. I have that on video. I have a ton of stuff to show you guys. It's just I'm overwhelmed. I'm busy on the phone. I'm talking to police. I'm researching law. Trying to get my stuff together here, and that makes for a very long day and difficult process of editing. So bear with me. I got plenty of content to come out, plenty of information to come out. Just stick with me and keep strong, and together we'll fix all this shit. Thanks. We'll talk to you next time.